Hey guys, welcome back to Jacksepticeye 9000 and back with another video, boy. And now we're gonna watch a YouTube video of Amazing Top 10. You should be there. It's like a good one. It's Amazing Top 10. I'm not sponsoring him or I didn't subscribe to him, but you should. I have my own decisions, okay? Let's go.
One of the first urban legend videos we did on this channel was the Korean urban legends. In many ways, I think it spawned the whole series. It's let us cover a whole bunch of different countries around the world, so I thought, why don't we return to Korea and take a look at some more? I know some of you said that Korea has the scariest stories by far. Let's look at some more and see how many others of you agree. My name is Danny Burke. This is the top 10 scary Korean urban legends, part 2. Just before we jump into this video, I want to say a quick thank you to Shade Tree Sunglasses who made this video possible. They are genuinely one of the coolest companies I've come across recently. You guys, I probably would. I wear them all the time outside of work. Just like this. I love them. They have a huge selection though. There's something to suit everyone out there. One thing they all have in common is that they're all made using...
Okay, if you don't like to see this part, I can pause it and I'll do it. Now they're gonna do it, okay?
And now, let's get on with the video. Starting off at number 10 now, we have 1212. The story goes like this. One night, a Korean girl named Sun Hee was at school. It was late, and she was studying in the library with a group of other students from her class. All the lights were on, but the rest of the school was in darkness. After a while, Sun Hee went to use the toilet. She told her friends and then headed down the dark hallway to the bathroom. A few minutes passed, and then, in the library, the other students began to hear a faint tapping noise. It was quiet at first, but got steadily louder. It seemed to be coming from the window. When they looked out, there, standing in the darkness, was a pale woman. She pressed her face against the window, but seemed to keep her eyes shut. One of her long, crooked fingers was tapping on the window. Then, one of the students gasped in horror. The woman wasn't closing her eyes. She didn't have any eyes at all. There were just dark holes where her eyes should have been. Then she raised her fist and smashed the glass. All the lights went out. In the bathroom, Sun Hee was about to wash her hands when she was plunged into darkness. There was silence. She was too far from the library to hear the screams as the woman slaughtered the other students. She stepped back into the library and stopped dead in her tracks. The bodies of the other students were everywhere. Shaking with fear, her mind raced. She tried to figure out what had happened. Then she heard footsteps coming from down the hallway. Sun Hee dropped to the ground to play dead. She heard something enter the room. It made a rustling sound as it moved. Then there was a whisper. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Sun Hee kept her eyes closed and prayed. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. She felt the presence draw nearer and heard the voice getting louder. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. As it came beside her, the counting stopped. Sun Hee remained paralyzed with fear. There was absolute silence. After several minutes of this, Sun Hee thought the woman had gone. She slowly opened her eyes. The woman was crouching directly over her, staring into her eyes. She had one pale, bony finger pointing straight at Sun Hee's face. 1, 2, she said, before plucking her eyeballs out with her fingers. Yes. Okay, we started off pretty intense with that one, didn't we? Let's keep it going now as we move on to our number 9 now, which is the Cuckoo Man. This urban legend began to spread around Korea a few years ago. There were rumors in schools about a crazy man who was terrorizing students, the Cuckoo Man. They say that he would lurk in alleyways and dark streets, lying in wait for his next victim. One story involved a group of schoolgirls passing by. They heard a voice saying, "Cuckoo, cuckoo." When they turned around to look at him, the Cuckoo Man would savagely attack them. Some say that he used a baseball bat, others say his weapon of choice was an axe. Either way, reports of this happening became more and more frequent. One of them involved 20 to 30 schoolgirls walking down the street when the Cuckoo Man jumped them and started hitting them all with a baseball bat one by one. He only stopped when the police arrived, at which point he fled into the night. Some say there is one way to stop the Cuckoo Man from attacking you. If you're walking down the street and hear a strange voice behind you saying "cuckoo, cuckoo," you must also reply with "cuckoo, cuckoo," and then run for your life. Moving on to number 8 now, we have the MP3 kidnappings. This urban legend appeared around 2010 and has been spreading in some form or another ever since. People say that kidnappers in Korea have had much easier jobs ever since people started listening to music with their headphones. It was around 2010 when listening to music like this became very widespread in South Korea, and that's about when the reports of the kidnappings began. People say that kidnappers were driving around dark streets waiting to spot someone with headphones blasting music in their ears, and then when the innocent person is distracted, they are bundled into the back of a car and taken away. The phenomenon began spreading across the whole country and was even talked about online. Many blogs and forums told the story of a female middle school student who was walking around one night, headphones blaring. She was kidnapped by 3 or 4 criminals who wrapped tape around her mouth and then assaulted her. They then returned her to the spot where they found her. Although these may just seem like stories, it has resulted in some South Koreans developing a real superstition about listening to loud music alone, especially when walking along dark and creepy streets. Next up, number 7 now, we have the handsome man. The story goes like this. 19-year-old Karuko lived on the 14th floor of her apartment building. One night she was coming home late from university and took the elevator up to her floor. She was alone, but a moment before the doors closed, a handsome man stepped into the elevator with her. He smiled and stood quite close to her. They chatted for a while, and the man said that he lived on the 13th floor. When they reached that, he got out, turned to face her. His smile turned to an evil one. He tilted his head and said, "I'll see you upstairs." Then he pulled out a knife and laughed manically as he ran up the staircase. Before Karuko could do anything, the elevator doors closed. She tried to stop the elevator by hitting every button she could, but nothing worked. When she got to her floor, the doors opened and there he was. She was never heard from again. Some people in Korea believe this is the reason why elevators now have a stop button, and they'll be happy to tell you Karuko's story to show you why. Moving on to number 6 now, we have the sesame seeds. The story goes like this. One day a girl was worried about her skin getting old and wrinkled. She was obsessed with improving the look of her skin constantly. At first she used normal products, but then felt she needed more than that and started to explore stranger techniques. One day a friend of a friend told her that if you put sesame seeds in your bath, they will help your skin stay youthful and glowing. The girl had had a lot of techniques, but not one like this. Perhaps this was a secret method that would satisfy her forever. She rushed home and ran a bath. After pouring a huge bag of sesame seeds, she jumped into the bath, where she stayed for hours. The family told her to get out of the bathroom eventually, but the girl refused. She wanted more time for it to work. Her mother grew suspicious and kicked the door down eventually. To her absolute horror, she found the girl in a shocking state. Every last seed had attached itself to her skin pores and wrinkles and sent roots down into her skin. Her daughter had a calm but crazed look in her eyes. She was trying to remove the seeds one by one with a toothpick, but all that came out was her trickling blood splashing onto the bathroom floor. Next up, number 5 now, we have the eyeless woman. This urban legend comes from north of Seoul. There you can find a...
I gotta say, the background of that looks scary. The background at the back of that guy. I forgot his name again.
Strip of highway that connects Goyang to part2. It's called Jeuro, and it's a road that's notorious for heavy fog, that's been blamed for a number of horrific car accidents over the years. At least that's what the officials say. You see, many locals believe there is a supernatural cause behind the accidents. Many drivers have claimed to have seen a young woman wearing sunglasses stood on the side of the highway at night. It's only when they get close the drivers realize there are no sunglasses. Instead, her eyes are actually gouged out and absolutely hollow. The shock of seeing her sends drivers careering off the road and to their untimely deaths. Moving on to number 4 now, we have the cockroaches. This South Korean urban legend will freak out anyone with a fear of creepy crawlies. The story goes like this. One day a girl's stomach started to hurt really bad. She didn't see any reason for this, and so she went straight to the hospital. The doctors took an x-ray which appears to show what they called foreign elements inside her. They took some more detailed x-rays and discovered that what they were actually looking at were cockroaches inside her body. Somehow a cockroach's eggs had ended up inside her, where they had hatched into fully grown cockroaches, happy of the fluids and warmth. They showed no signs of wanting to leave and had to be removed through surgery. Many people now check their clothes twice for cockroach eggs, unless they want the story to come true for them too. Next up, number 3 now, we have the dead dream. According to some people in Korea, there have been reports of dead family members appearing in people's dreams. One such story involves that of a man who dreamt his grandmother was beckoning him over while she was waist deep in water. He wanted to go to her in the dream. After all, he did miss her, and, she was still his grandmother, even if she was behaving really creepily. Something didn't feel right, though. He felt in danger, even though it was just a dream. The next day, he told his wife about the dream, and her eyes widened. His wife explained what the dream meant. She said, if you go into the arms of a dead person in a dream, especially if they're in water, it will be a sure sign that your soul is about to be stolen. The husband said he kept having the same dream night after night, but each time he could feel himself getting pulled closer and closer to her. He was only just managing to wake up in time. Then one day they realized they had kept one of the grandmother's possessions in the house by accident instead of leaving her to rest with it. The family believed this is what tied her spirit to the house still and was causing the dreams. After they paid their respects once more, the man's dreams stopped, at least for now. Next up, at number 2 now, we have fan death. This is a well-known urban legend in Korean culture that fans not only cool people down, they can also kill them. They are said to do this in a number of different ways. One way is hypothermia. A person's metabolism is said to slow.
Hey, before they didn't have in a part of the video. I hope it says when you take off don't you know the cage, and plus you can put your hand in the blade and plus it chops it or your head and you die. I'm thinking of that.
Down at night and make them become more sensitive to heat. Some people believe this makes them more prone to hypothermia, and that essentially a fan really can freeze you to death. Then there is a slightly more creepy reason, asphyxiation. Some believe that fans will suck up oxygen and blow carbon dioxide towards this sleeping person. This will slowly kill them in their sleep. It seems that this urban legend is very prevalent in Korea. In 2006, a South Korean government group warned of asphyxiation from electric fans and said they can kill people, especially elder patients or those with breathing problems. And finally, at number 1 now, we have the cockroach face. Yes, we're returning to cockroaches now for our final story. It goes a little bit like this. A guy had some bad acne on his face. He was desperate to cure it, perhaps a little bit too desperate. He told his friends he would do anything to get rid of the unsightly scars the spots had left on his face. They told him to go see a local shaman who apparently had a very special method for treating acne. He didn't ask any questions. Like I said, he would do anything for a cure. The shaman sat him down and quickly told him exactly what he needed to do. He told him to find a cockroach before going to bed. He would have to put it next to his pillow just before going to sleep. Sleeping with this cockroach by his face would make the scars go away. The guy didn't ask any questions about how this would work and went home. He found a cockroach, left it right by his pillow, and tried to get to sleep that night. The next morning, he woke up, he looked in the mirror, and was amazed to see that it had worked. His scars were all gone. But then, on closer inspection, he saw that the scar holes were not gone. They were simply filled with dozens of tiny, oozing cockroach eggs. I hope you guys haven't eaten recently because I feel a little bit sick. I guess the good news is that is the end of the video, so you can go and recover if that last one was a little bit too gross. The bad news is, well, yeah, it's the end of the video. Where is the urban legend ship going to stop next in the world? You guys have the wheel. I'm just a passenger. Thanks for watching, guys. I am Danny Berg, and I will see you all in the next video. Just before I go, I want to say thank you.
Okay, that's the end of the video, guys. Like and subscribe to my channel, and also Amazing Top 10. That makes great videos, and bye.